All right, March the 2nd, one day past April Fool's Day. I still see fools everywhere though. Anyway, a little bit of a follow-up with the Vancouver Masonic Lodges being burned down. We've got a little bit of insight that was captured by members of the Vancouver is Awesome media department before it was taken down. Although I'm not sure who would have taken it down. Shouldn't this guy have been in custody? Was he given access to his Facebook to take it down? I don't know. Anyway, we'll read on. It's kind of got some interesting stuff in it. Um, I suppose you might want to draw new conclusions, or maybe just stick with the ones you made on some of the people taking shots at what might have been going on in the comments on the original video there yesterday. But anyhow, we'll see what you think after the end of this. So, a man charged with setting a fire to a Mason Hall in Vancouver and suspected in the arson fires at two North Vancouver Mason lodges Tuesday may have boasted about the crimes on his Facebook page. That sounds like a smart thing to do, but anyway. Benjamin Coleman, a 42-year-old Vancouver resident, was arrested and charged Tuesday with arson, assaulting a police officer, and flight from police according to court documents, although the cop was off duty. He didn't seem to have put up much of a fight to take this guy down. I watched it. It was pretty weak. Anyway, I don't know what the 42 means. Someone was saying in the comments that it means something numerology-wise, gematria-wise, and stuff like that. But I don't know what that is. So if you want to hammer in the comments today, if you see this or whatever, what that means, or if someone else has any idea, that'd be cool. I did, however, look this up because that looked like a suspicious name to me. Come over to Ancestry.com, and it is German and Jewish Ashkenazic from a compound middle high German Kohl and German Kohl or Kohl. German Kohl cabbage, so there's like the cabbage picker, and German man, hence an occupational name for a coal miner or a cabbage farmer. So yeah, but anyway, it's interesting. Now, there's a lot of things to think about with this. As I've mentioned this before, and most people maybe who are here now didn't see this episode where I was talking about this, but one of my family members, it's my cousin's husband actually, one of his buddies that was into mechanic work and painting and stuff like that, like he is in the big city of Edmonton, was a Jew from concentration camp, Germany, World War II. He came to Canada and became a mechanic or whatever, but the dude was more than inspired to try to get to the bottom of what was going on. His spidey senses were tingling, and so he did it old school. This is a long time ago, and he got together a whole bunch of book learning, and through all of his book learning, he kind of figured out, that it's like a world power maneuver, that, he also felt by the end of it that Jewish manipulators were willing to sacrifice their own people in order to make this all happen. And so he was quite upset. I never got to meet him. Cousin Brian, he was given a letter from old Joe, and he was told to burn it, right? As soon as he read it, because there was the fear of danger if you were caught researching this kind of stuff back then. The double tap fucking suicide to the back of the head styley. So it's hard to say if this guy actually was. He might have just been German. He might have been Ashkenazic. Maybe he knew that and he's upset about it. Who knows? All kinds of things a person could draw. I'd personally just like to talk to the guy myself. But anyway, we'll move on a little bit. I just thought that was interesting. I always got to look shit like that up when I'm reading stuff. I want to see who's who and what's what to try to unweave the tangled web. So anyway, Coleman remains in custody until his next court appearance. The first two fires were set at Mason's Lynn Valley Lodge and the Capilano Lodge in the central Lonsdale in North Vancouver. The third in Vancouver at the Mason Hall at 4474 Rupert Street. On Wednesday, the Vancouver Police Department identified Coleman as the man arrested and charged with Vancouver fire, noting further charges could be forthcoming. The two arsons that occurred in North Vancouver yesterday are still under investigation, said Constable Taniev Vizintin, media relations officer with the Vancouver Police Department. We anticipate recommending more charges to Crown Counsel in the coming weeks related to the North Vancouver files. I wonder if he means fires. Anyway, a Facebook post by a Ben Coleman of Vancouver, BC, published 8:07, March 30th, 2021, reads, "I just cleaned 3 satanic clubhouses and nobody could do anything." Here's his page. So, I mean, he wrote this after, supposedly. I don't know how quick he was nabbed. I don't know if that's available in some of the news. I should have looked at that a little bit harder, maybe. But anyway, there's this Facebook post that he made. There's Higgy Despacito. If you wanted to bug that guy, what's up with his buddy Ben? I guess you've got the opportunity. Buddy homie says, "Run the device. It will stop the mind control. People are not that dumb, but mind controlled with nanites." Nanites. I don't know if that's like nanomachines. Nanite sounds more like a chemical. Okay, yeah, so confirmed. It's like mini robots, nanites. It's some of the technology that, if you're a gamer, has been featured in the Metal Gear games. But he's talking about mind control through robots anyway. So I don't know about the whole nanite thing. It seems to me that the technology isn't there yet, at least as far as we know, and then it would sure be expensive to crank it out to hundreds of millions of people. And then what do you say about people who don't seem to be affected? They just didn't get nanited? I don't know. To me, it's kind of wild, a little bit far out, which, you know, maybe a person could draw the conclusion that this is all just, you know, yeah, some kind of a psyop to defame conspiracy theorist type people. Once again, I could see that. Coleman was arrested just before 10 a.m. in Burnaby. A response to Coleman's post asked, "What next?" Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I just read that. Facebook page filled with conspiracy theories and anti-Masonic messages. The same Facebook account of Ben Coleman of Vancouver includes a number of conspiracy theories and anti-Masonic sentiments. "I'll bet the real Bible is hidden in the Vatican Library and the Bibles we see are corrupted," reads a post from early in the morning of March 30th. I don't know. There's nothing unreasonable about making an assertion like that as far as I'm concerned. Coleman also espouses anti-vaccination beliefs and theories. The radio said that they can vaccinate 33,000 per day. The 33 means it's a Freemason conspiracy. "I bet those things are full of nanotech to spy on the whole world," reads a post from January 8th of earlier this year. And I mean, I tend to see the 33 a lot mentioned in all kinds of news articles, to be honest. Am I going to really claim for sure I know what it means? I can't claim for sure I know what it means, but it's definitely a fun suspicion to have that there could be something to it. Or is it synchromistic? It just ends up being that way. Or is it just the easiest way to get close to roughly saying a third of something? I don't know. Whatever, right? Draw your own conclusions, right? Everyone does, but... Several of his posts are about Freemasonry. 2019 documentary on Freemasonry has been scrubbed from the internet along with most of their truth videos he shared in December 2020. Well, I mean, that kind of does happen a lot. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, also in December, he posted about distrusting the media. Why would you? Anyway, we should just stop denying ourselves and admit that satanic secret societies control the news and lie every day. I mean, it's obvious throughout Hollywood and politics. The word government literally means mind controllers. Something like that. If you would just stop lying to yourself to make yourself feel better, that this isn't actually happening, then maybe we could do something about it. It doesn't sound unlike a lot of people who are frustrated, who've been looking at certain things for a long time and figure if everybody could come to the same conclusion, there'd be a difference made in the world. And ultimately, I think that that's what all people who are trying to solve the world's problems one way or another ultimately think anyway, right? If only everybody would see it the way I see it, then we could do something. And in a sense, it's true when you have a big enough group of people that are like-minded making an action towards something. I mean, it definitely does have gravity to cause an impact. So at any rate... It is literally your fault that your children will be enslaved by technology because of your denial. Soon all money will be controlled by embedded microchips, and the ability to purchase will be controlled by the mind controllers who gradually strip you of all your rights, including international travel and recreational activities after work. We are good for building infrastructure and maintenance to them, that is all. Shut the news off, take your head out, and look around. This is not because of the government. The Rothschilds, spell it wrong, Rockefellers, Royals, and the like are about, and the like care about our well-being. I know this falls on deaf ears, but I have to say it anyways, just in case some have the ability to reason. Facepalm, it's hopeless. I mean, he's not wrong in that sense. You can't get most people interested. Even if you talk reasonably, like I try to talk reasonably about this stuff, most people aren't too interested. Some people are curious. Some people are either curious and they like to hear about it, or they're interested and they get into it, and that can go to different degrees, or obviously they just don't care at all. And actually, there's another group of people that I've had conversations with too, who have family members who are involved with secret societies and in society, and they stand up for them like they were a good person and everything. And I'm sure that most of the time they actually are. That might sound weird, but I think a lot of people do get into it just like a fraternity, and they understand that it's to make, good men better is kind of the Masonic motto. And so I think a lot of people that are in it are doing their best to do something, with what they can. And then, there's, the possibility that once you get up high enough, you're going to have more influence. The chosen has risen to the top, the cream has risen to the top, and you probably will end up, helping run things and orchestrate the lies of the world. I was thinking today about how there's so many actors in the world, and like what an actor is. And so, I mean, the actor that you pay to go watch entertain you is one version of it. And, but the core thing about it is that he gets paid to basically make a really convincing, entertaining lie, right? I mean, it's all fiction. And so when we have people in politics and news that are all also trying to convince us of a lie, then they become nothing more than actors as well, trying to convince us of a fiction as well, right? So, I mean, there's actors everywhere. It's no wonder there's a guild for it as well. It's kind of a revered trade. It's a trade, like motherfucking Team America, where it's like, act, actor, act. They had to go hire the actors and all the actors in the Actors Guild to try to influence public opinion in that movie. It's pretty fun going back and watching it if you haven't seen it in a long time, and sort of looking at the way the world is now and then looking at that movie. It's a little bit prophetic in its own way. It's kind of funny. Anyhow. Several of the posts on Ben Coleman's Facebook page have been marked false information by Facebook. Well, who gives a shit about what fucking Facebook and their fact checkers think, to be honest. But suspect seen on video outside Vancouver Mason Hall fire. A video that was circulated on social media and by news organizations Tuesday shows a confrontation between an off-duty officer and a man carrying what appears to be a jerry can. Yeah, appears to be a jerry can. It was a jerry can. Out front of the Mason Hall at Rupert Street and East 29th Avenue around 7:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. Like, you sure picked a bad time to do it, too. Like I mean, he's like in daylight and he gets caught on camera fucking around, and then there just happens to be an off-duty cop there and everything, too. So funny. Anyway, however, during Tuesday afternoon's press conference, Vizintin couldn't confirm that the man taken into police custody that afternoon is the same man as in the video. An off-duty police officer did witness a man exiting the building there. The building was partially on fire. He confronted this man. A physical fight ensued. So, like, yeah, who do you think it was? The guy just wasn't like, hey, what's going on, man? He's like, fuck you, dude. I'm the fuck out. Anyway, the man got away, but the off-duty officer was able to call in the interaction to dispatch, and no doubt got a license plate. And they couldn't catch up to Buddy before he'd already made posts about his works on Facebook. And why the fuck would you? Oh yeah, I just fought with some guy and everything. Like, come on, ridiculous. Anyway, Byzantine and Coleman said Coleman does have a history with police. He has had interactions with police, and I think there is something for criminal harassment in his past. You think? I think you should just know. You didn't really look him up too much, fucking if you're just guessing. Kind of a stupid article. Stupid cops as usual, too. Like, I understand that there is a need for police the way society's set up, but holy fuck. Come on, you guys. A person with the same name as the suspect charged in the arson fires does have several past infractions on record in the British Columbia. So you can look up people in Canada to a degree too. I don't think it just tells you what their full charge is, but so yeah. And so whatever, just for fun, I figured what the heck, right? Have a look at the gematria. Now, I have no clue about much of this stuff. I've seen it. I've said, what good is it if it's kind of just always like something you look at in retrospect? Although I guess some people have advanced to have a little bit more than that now. A buddy of mine's always followed this stuff, and I've always just been like, whatever, not interested. Like Conan the Barbarian, I'm just like, ah, I hate magic, kind of shit. But so anyway, I don't know what this shit means. But if you do Benjamin Coleman's name, you get dual 7s and dual 11s that I guess whatever that is, the bottom numbers must be the reductions on shit. Fucked if I know. Yeah, and then I thought that was kind of interesting anyway, that there was 7s and 11s on his name. And then Higgy Despacito, his friend there, 7-7-2-11 and whatever. I mean, to me, none of those numbers mean anything to me. Like I said, I'm absolutely clueless with this shit, but... And then, yeah, double 8s and double 1s for the, whatever, the reduced numbers, I guess, right? So I have no idea, once again, what any of that means, but maybe you do, right? So whatever, if you've got some kind of gematric knowledge, you could throw that in the comments if you want to. That'd be cool. Give some people something to talk about, give me something to think about. Alright, so anyway, everyone have a good weekend. Yeah, I'll whip out like a video or two probably this weekend too, maybe even tonight or whatever. So whatever you're up to, have a good weekend, and yeah, talk to you later. Hopefully the mic sounds better too. For some reason my snowball was turned off. Who turns off my snowball? Alright, peace out.